YouTube, today we're continuing to use the A Squad team that we used in the last episode featuring Aurorus, Araquanid, and Arcanine. If you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, and if you want to check out the details of the team, there is a payment available in the description down below. You can try out the team with the rental code for 2 weeks before it expires, and you can check out the team builder that is coming out tomorrow on how I built this team if you're interested. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. We got Kyogre, Seismitoad with Calyx, Shadow Rider, Incineroar, Amoonguss, and the Thundurus incarnate form. Now, I don't know if this is going to be Dynamax Thundurus. I'd say it probably is. I think Dynamax Thundurus can work a lot of magic here with the Calyx and the fact that usually Seismitoad, I think, and Thundurus are the main Dynamax Pokemon here. What would I say is good here? Obviously, Yveltal is amazing, and so is Rillaboom. Probably a fantastic lead overall. It just dishes out so much. Grassy Glide just really puts a hurt on that Seismitoad, prevents it from doing much. However, the Thundurus is a little bit troubling here, and that's the main one that I'm a little bit worried here. I think Rillaboom Necross is probably a good lead here. I don't really like Arcanine too much. It doesn't accomplish much. Araquanid could do some work. Wide Guard's pretty nice. Liquidation does a good amount of damage. Aurorus doesn't seem too bad because of the freeze dry pressure that emanates against my opponent's side. I think I'll stick with the Araquanid though for this matchup. I think I'm going to go with the Necrozma into... I want to say it's Necrozma of Rillaboom here. Or do I want to lead something else? Because I feel like Rillaboom covers the Seismitoad option. It doesn't carry the Thundurus option though. And I just don't know if they lead Thundurus or not. I think have Araquanid and Yveltal in the back is going to be the play. However, I don't really like Arcanine this matchup. And Aurorus, it could put in some work here. However, I'm just not too sure. Because I just don't know, because the Amoonguss can be a little bit troubling under Trick Room if that's the case. I mean, Araquanid is not that good against Amoonguss, but Freeze Dry, I mean, I still do have pretty powerful liquidations for Incineroar, which is nice, and I don't have to rely on Meteor Beam here. Oh, Calyx Thundurus is not the lead I would have liked. Okay, that's probably worst case here. However, I guess this isn't too bad either, because I can go for a Rockfall here, threaten the Thundurus, and that does a ton of damage. I don't know if they're going to go for Wisp here though, turn one, or not. I guess I can't really switch in with Rillaboom, however. I think it's okay for the long term though. I think I'm just going to go for a max Rockfall here in the Thundurus, because if I get rid of their Thundurus, it's absolutely huge. I don't need Trick Room, I guess, in this match to win. And if they don't max the Calyx, we're in a pretty good spot. They go for Astral Barrage. I just don't know if they Astral Barrage here. I mean, I guess actually, you know what? I will Trick Room here now that I think about it. I think about it more and more, and I'm like, okay, if they Astral Barrage, what can they double up with Thundurus in order to knock? Can they double up knockout the Necrozma to pick up the knockout? I guess if it's Life or Max Lightning, I'm in a bit of trouble, huh? I feel like Wisp is coming out, and I really want to make that play. You know what? Let's make a Protect Rockfall. I think it's the safest, even if it's Wisp into Airstream, which isn't that great for me. I think it's still better than losing my Necrozma to Max Lightning or Max Darkness plus Astral Barrage turn one. And I think it's just a better option here. We're gonna see the Dynamax Thundurus, so I don't think we're gonna see Seismitoad in this game, because Seismitoad would probably want to be a Dynamax Pokemon, and they did hard commit lead Thundurus. I guess if I let Yveltal, it would have been weird against this lead as well. It's not exactly the most solid lead in this position, because it just gets threatened by Max Lightning. Although I don't know if Max Lightning KOs with Life Orb. I don't think it does without it. The Astral Barrage would make it pretty close. Well, Dynamax or Necrozma though. I was pretty happy with Dynamax and Necrozma anyway in this matchup. We're gonna see Protect from Rillaboom, no Protect from the Calyx, no surprise. What are you going for? Wisp? Astral Barrage, okay. Best case scenario. Best case scenario. I guess I could have Quaked. However, getting rid of this Thundurus is absolutely huge to me. And I could Wide Guard with Araquanid. If they bring in Kyogre, I mean, would you bring in Kyogre in this position? I just don't think so. We do send Airstream targets into the Rillaboom. Okay, yeah. This works out beautifully. I'm able to get a Rockfall into the Thundurus, eliminate the Thundurus, and then Araquanid could probably come in afterward and dish out quite a bit of damage. So I think that's pretty solid. We do get a Rockfall off into the Thundurus. Goodbye, Thundurus. Pretty happy about this turn. I mean, if I decided to Trick Room here, what would I gotten? A +2 Necroz was super weakened. I don't know if I would hard commit maxed. I have Rock Slide, Grassy Glide options, I suppose. I think this probably worked out for the best. Let's see if Amoonguss is going to come in. If it's a Mungus, I probably just go for the KO into the Mungus slot. And what do I do with Rillaboom? I probably want to save it, right? Because just having that option against the Kyogre seems really good with the Grassy Glide, especially if it's timid max speed Kyogre or a Choice Scarf potentially. We're gonna find out what Kyogre you're gonna be brought. I think Kyogre has to be brought. Incineroar is actually gonna come in though, and that's perfect. All right, I don't mind Incineroar coming out here. We just go for, I think we set up with Yveltal. I do think we could set up with Yveltal. That's an option. I could also just max Quake here. Do I want to max Quake Incin or do I want to max Quake the Calyrex, I guess is the question. I guess it'd be the Incineroar slot because Incineroar is just annoying to damage overall, right? So we bring in the Araquanid here. We're going to max Quake the Incineroar. I mean, Araquanid has good Spadef, so we should be able to survive an Astral Barrage pretty comfortably. I don't know what the Incineroar is. Speed type or speed base is probably is faster than the Necrozma. Could go for a Parting Shot. Flare Blitz shouldn't KO here. We are going to see a Flare Blitz. Is this an Araquanid? Yeah, it's an Araquanid. Okay. That's ideal because with the Water Bubble ability, it's able to survive, which is huge. And now I can draw off big, powerful Wide Guards right here into like block all the spread moves here. I'm assuming Kyogre is going to come in and just draw up Water Spout, Astral Barrage, and I'm in a perfect spot if that's the case. All right. I also get some special defense boost, which is always promising with the Necrozma here. And the Araquanid Wide Guard seems really good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just don't see a reason why I wouldn't Wide Guard here. They might expect it. They might go for Psyshock, which is okay. Most Kyogres don't run Scald in the format. They usually run Origin Pulse as the second move. So this should work out perfectly, I'd imagine. We'll see. Is it going to be... It should be Kyogre. And then I guess the follow-up move is the question. Yeah, here comes the Kyogre. What do I want to go for? Do I want to get the Kyogre? Or I kind of want to break the Sash on Calyrex just so I always have that Sucker Punch option. Because I think having that Sucker Punch option is just really solid here for the Calyrex. So you know what? I'm gonna Wide Guard here and I max Quake the Calyrex, I think, and that seems really good to me. We will go for the Wide Guard here. Let's see if this is going to work or if they're going to expect it, but Wide Guard is going to come out and Wide Guard with the Dynamax. I haven't really used Wide Guard in a Dynamax format, so this actually looks really cool as we do protect our Pokemon from, yeah, the double spread moves. And that's really important because one of the things that's annoying about setting up Trick Room is you have like these powerful spread moves, right, with Astral Barrage, Water Spout, and what's nice is a Wide Guard here is going to help prevent that, especially since they used to max on the Thunderous. I get the max Quake off in the Calyrex, and this is absolutely huge as I am able to boost my special defense even further with these Pokemon. And yeah, we just go for a Wide Guard here and we go for an Earthquake, and we're in a pretty solid position. So Araquanid, even though you're not doing the damage, just ends up working out perfectly. I could also just Trick Room here. Trick Room, there's nothing wrong with Trick Room either. Yeah, I could probably just Wide Guard and Trick Room here. Yeah, do I need to Trick Room though? Is that unnecessary? It might be unnecessary. Yeah, I guess I just... Nah, I kind of want to Trick Room. I do kind of want to Trick Room. I'm going to Trick Room and Wide Guard here. Then I could just bring in Rillaboom and I can click Earthquake into Grassy Glide and just win, I think. You go for Psyshock, that's all right here. I guess I could take in the Knockout Calyrex. However, I really don't think this is too bad. Wide Guard's still active throughout the turn, even after Araquanid goes down. So, like, regardless, like, what can they do? Thunder, Para, Ice Beam Freeze, those are their outs. And even then, I still have a Yveltal, right? Yeah. So we are able to go for the Trick Room here. And I think we just click... I just think we click attacks. I guess I don't have to Earthquake. I think I am going to go hard in a Rillaboom though and just click Grassy Glide into the Kyogre slot, and we will just... Yeah, I mean, I don't think... We don't... Well, it shouldn't be Scarf Kyogre on this team. Yeah, it shouldn't be Scarf Kyogre that's slower than Calyrex, I'd imagine. We're going to go for the Sunsteel Strike though into the Calyrex slot, and I guess we're just going to fire off a Grassy Glide into the Kyogre slot. I mean, Yveltal just wins in the back anyway, right? As they are going to forfeit because they realize that. And yeah, like Wide Guard... It's still really weird in a max format because you can play around Wide Guard so easily with max moves. However, with a lot of this Pokemon that we're seeing, and like Calyrex is more of a Sash variant that doesn't tend to Dynamax as often, I think it's a really cool option for teams that are just really weak to spread moves, and it just helps setting up Trick Room, I think, so much easier. Because one of the ways to play around Trick Room and like Follow Me, for instance, is usually just fire powerful spread moves into that target. And Yeah, the Araquanid wide guard just really came into play here, just able to prevent it. And even though it wasn't doing damage, it was just buying turns for my Necrozma to really dish out the hurt into my opponent's team, and it just worked out. If you currently enjoyed the content you're watching and want to see more of it, make sure you check out my other YouTube channels, my second YouTube channel, my Eclipse channel, and of course, make sure you follow the action live on my Twitch channel. All links available in the description down below. Sun with Charizard, Venusaur, Sableye, Groudon, Solgaleo, and the Tapu Fini. Now, Charizard is, let me just say, a very, very difficult matchup. It's a very difficult matchup, mainly because Wildfire does so much insane damage right here. And my win cons are going to be probably Dynamaxing the Araquanid here and hoping I just KO the Charizard. Let's see. I am going to go with the Araquanid lead. I think it's Araquanid plus the Yveltal. And then I have to bring Aurorus and I have to sack it, which isn't great, but yeah, I have to make that play. And then I think, if I bring Arcanine to back, I feel like Arcanine's not that great. Probably Necrozma, which isn't great either, realistically. I think it's Arcanine. I mean, yeah, I think it's Arcanine. Because Necrozma just seems like it's going to have a lot of trouble. At least Arcanine can help slow down the... it's just a Charizard. Daily Charizard Sableye, and I'm in so much trouble, I think. If it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Sunny Day just seems terrible here. Sunny Day just seems terrible. We're gonna find the Sableye Solgaleo lead. Huh. Not what I expected at all. I lead Araquanid plus the Yveltal. I'm not gonna Rock Slide. I wonder if this is foul play into a rock move. I did bring 3 Rock Weeks though, which isn't good. I think I Liquidation here to Sableye, and then what's the play with Yveltal? I don't know if this is Shadow Sneak either, because if it's Shadow Sneak, that's pretty bad too. I think we go for a Oblivion Wing into Sableye as well. Let's just go for it. I don't know if this is max. I don't know if they want to protect the Solgaleo. I don't know if they fear the foul play. They could be max speed Solgaleo, which does outspeed. Oh wait, no, it doesn't outspeed Yveltal. Yveltal would be faster if I'm max. So I don't know if they're scared or not, but we are going to see a max from Solgaleo, which is not a good sign. This could be fake out into a Rockfall here or Shadow Sneak. If this is Shadow Sneak, they're risking a lot if I was max speed foul play, but I'm not, unfortunately, on this team. We're going to see Solgaleo does Dynamax here. This seems pretty bad. Fake out comes out into, oh, Araquanid. Interesting. Also, I don't have to worry about max Charizard, which is actually kind of huge, because normally my plan against Charizard is sacking Aurorus. Get the hail up and prevent the sun. I do get a pretty good damage in the Sableye, and it's eject button Sableye. Okay. Huh. What's being brought in, and what's the Solgaleo going for? Rockfall? Could be a lightning. We also confirmed that the Solgaleo is slower. Charizard comes in. Okay. And we're gonna see a... yeah, it's a Rockfall into... I think this has to be Yveltal. Yeah, it's Yveltal. That's some pretty impressive damage right there. Okay. Not great, but might not be the worst. Might not be the worst. Although Rockfall is very, very concerning here. I don't think it's too bad, actually. I think I have a play. I think I max the Araquanid, and I think I go hard into Arcanine. Because I max guard the Araquanid, because I'd imagine here the Charizard's going to probably try to take the knockout onto Yveltal. Just please don't be Hurricane. Just don't Hurricane here, please. And the next turn I can whisk the Solgaleo and Geyser here. I think that's pretty important, because I think foul play after some chipping the Solgaleo will knock it out. And I think Max Araquanid is going to be my key here, because Max Araquanid probably does a good amount of damage to their entire team. I guess some problems are, does the Charizard have Scorching Sand, and is there a Groudon switch for the Solgaleo, even though it's a max? Because that could be an option too. We Dynamax with our Araquanid and Max Guard, because I really do think that this should be like knock out the Arcanine. Oh, they protect. What? Oh, please tell me this is not targeting the Yveltal. Or if it's a targeting Yveltal, please Steel Spike. Okay. Not as bad. Definitely could have been worse. I'll take it. That's annoying that they have all this damage now. However, I max Geyser, Charizard. I mean, Hurricane's gonna hurt. However, this is Not exactly how I've been hoping it was. Maybe I should have let Arcanine and just whisked. That could have been a thing too. I guess I could have let Arcanine or Araquanid. It's just the thing. They usually like to take the KO onto Yveltal, I feel like. So it's like an easier way to bait the wildfire. But yeah, might have been better in this case. We're going to max Geyser here and we're going to Wisp the Solgaleo. It's my best option. They air slash and they miss, which is kind of nice. I do get the Wisp off, which is huge. Okay, perfect. I burned the Solgaleo. Let's see if it's a Rockfall. Is Rockfall into who? It could be into either slot. It's hard Arcanine. Okay, I should live. Okay, I expect us to live that. All right. At least Arcanine did his job and got the burn off. Although I wish I kind of could have had the Intimidate and the Will-O-Wisp burn for Groudon later. A Geyser is going to knock out the Charizard, which is huge. And I think that's pretty big. Okay, Charizard eliminated. We still have our big Yveltal in the late game. This isn't terrible. Also, Max Geyser is really threatening a lot of damage right here. I think we go hard in the Yveltal. Yeah, we go hard in the Yveltal here. Sableye going to come out. Interesting. Okay. I am okay with this. I'm pretty sure. I'm okay with this. I want to go for... Is this just Rock Slide here? I think it's Rock Slide here. I think I want to max Geyser to Solgaleo, and I want to go for probably a swap here because this is fake out Rock Slide. I think always into the Yveltal. What sucks is I'm going to get rid of my own Weather. However, I do need to chip into Solgaleo. That's huge for foul play later. And I think that's like more important right now. So let's see what they decide to go for here as we bring out the Aurorus and get rid of our Rain. However, we should be able to take the Rock move just okay-ish. And then afterward, it's going to depend on what they decide. Because I'm really relying a lot on Yveltal for the win con, even though it's super low on HP right now. We're going to see Sunsteel Strike double up. Okay. Which is fair on their part. I guess they didn't want to miss Rock Slide there. So, yeah. It also covered this Aurora switch. I'm not sure if that was what their initial plan was. But, yeah. We are able to get a Geyser off, though, into the Soul. And this should do a good amount. Yeah, perfect. I think it's in foul play range now. And I can go for a Geyser into the Sableye slot. And I think I can foul play. And I think that's always my option here. So, yeah. Solgaleo is chipped. I don't know. Endgame could still be really scary. Let's see. The endgame looks pretty scary still. I think we'll be all right. Yveltal comes out. And we go for a foul play into the Solgaleo and a liquidation into the Sableye. Yeah, that's always our play here. Quash doesn't matter. You can't Will-O-Wisp burn me. If you Will-O-Wisp burn my Yveltal, I guess that's a little bit... Oh, wait, you can't go for Will-O-Wisp in the Yveltal because of the Prankster. So yeah, foul play into Solgaleo. Should knock it out at this range. Liquidation into the Sableye. We're gonna see the swap out from the Solgaleo into Groudon. Okay, that's interesting. I get a big foul play off into Groudon. It depends on this Groudon set, I suppose. You go for Willis, but yeah, you can't burn a Rock and Eater with the Water Bubble. I wonder if they just don't have any moves that can do anything. Maybe it's like Quash and something else. Foul play does a good amount to Groudon, and Liquidation does come out into the Sableye. Perfect. All right, Groudon, what kind of moveset are you? Because I have Wide Guard on Araquanid, and I think I just click it. I think I just click Wide Guard here. Solgaleo, I mean, I could also... there's also some other things I could do, but Foul Play looks super close to a roll on Groudon. I don't think it's worth risking. So a lot of Groudons, the standard ones, Rock Slide, Precipice, Blades, although some of them have been running Assault Vest lately. I could just Liquidation to Solgaleo and Foul Play to Groudon, but if Groudon protects, I'm in quite a bit of trouble if they take the knockout with the Solgaleo. So I think I just Foul Play, especially since the Solgaleo can be maybe Assault Vest on this team. Let's go for the Wide Guard. No protects, so I should be able to get the knockout on the Solgaleo. And then Groudon. What's a move? What's a move of choice here? Did I click Wide Guard afterward, I guess is the question? I think I do. It is Rock Slide. Okay, as long as it wasn't Thunder Punch or Heat Crash or Fire Punch into my Yveltal, I should have been pretty safe there, and luckily it was. And then afterward, I think we go for a Wide Guard here again. And we go for a... I think we just Oblivion Wing here. Because I have more special attack investment. Groudon isn't exactly the bulkiest. And yeah, the battle's going to be forfeit. Okay. Perfect. I don't think they had the move that can finish off, I don't think they had a move that could bypass the Wide Guard. So Wide Guard really coming clutch there with Araquanid. I mean, there was an Air Slash miss. I don't think it mattered based on like how much HP Araquanid just had remaining at the end of the game, because like it was still been around on the field, and I don't think anything really changes there. I think just Solgaleo Dynamax was interesting for sure, and then I think like being able to chip away to Solgaleo, the Dynamax Araquanid was just so good there. Being able to pick up some knockouts in the Charizard and huge damage, I think, in the Solgaleo. Like, did you see how much damage that Max Geyser just did to the Solgaleo? That was pretty big. Hey, Yveltal, Zacian, Rotom Heat, the Landisfarne, Gastrodon, and Grimmsnarl. Now, it really depends on the Yveltal set, because Yveltal is an extremely difficult Pokemon for my team to handle in general. It's really going to come down to, I think, the Yveltal set, because if it's like a Life Orb Yveltal, this matchup is pretty bad. Otherwise, if it's not, I can usually handle it. I think I go with Necrozma, Arcanine, and then in the back, I'm bringing my Aurorus. And am I bringing Araquanid? I guess Araquanid could put in some work. I'm just not sure if I want to bring Araquanid or if I want to bring Yveltal, because Yveltal seems not bad either, because I guess it could be helpful for their Yveltal. If it is Life Orb on their Yveltal, maybe the Assault Vest set can maybe beat in a 1v1, I suppose. And maybe I could also bait Max Darkness. There's like a few things that I could do, I suppose. It really just depends. If it's going to be the Assault Vest Yveltal, it makes it so much easier for me, because if it's Assault Vest, their main way of damaging Necroz was Foul Play, and I can Wisp the Yveltal and really reduce that damage output that they have here, which I think is really crucial. Let's see what they lead here. I don't know, but I will try here. This is not the most fun matchup though. Landorus Rotom lead is an interesting one. Okay. So I lead Necrozma plus Arcanine, and I guess it's not too bad. I get an Intimidate off onto their Landorus. I wonder if they're Lumberry on this team or not. I feel like Life Orb Landorus is like probably one of the most common items. So if I can get a Wisp off in a Landorus and trick him up, that would be huge. I don't know. They could Dynamax here with either slot. I could see a Max. I could see like Earthquake Overheat here. I think my best play is actually to save Necrozma here and go hard into Yveltal and go for a Wisp here. And I do think that's a play. The reason I think this is a play is because I think getting him to Wisp off into Landorus is huge. Having the Necrozma healthy to set up Trick Room, I think, is really important. And I just don't know, like, the Earthquake Overheat, like, how much damage it'll do. I could also see a Dynamax here and a double up into the slot. I guess if they have Wisp, they could go for Wisp too, which I'm not really as concerned about. However, I do think getting the Yveltal in second setup, I think, is pretty nice. We'll bring the Yveltal. The Dark Aura activates, and we're going to see a Dynamax. Okay, which slot here? Is it going to be the Landorus, or is it going to be the Rotom Heat? Because this is important here. Because if they set up with Rotom Heat, it's a little bit annoying, but they do set up with the Landorus. Okay, if it's Lumberry, it's not that great, but if it's Life Orb, the Wisp off is so huge here. And I mean so huge. Let's see. Helping Hand? Is this Helping Hand Earthquake? Wisp connects. Okay, huge. Please show me Earthquake into the... Oh, it is Lumberry. Did they target the Arcanine? Oh, they targeted the Yveltal. That's huge. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have switches for my Necrozma slot. So this turn, I'm going to fire off a Snarl here. And I'm going to go for a Wisp into the Landorus once again. Helping Hand Rotom Heat's interesting. Just don't be Helping Hand Ally Switch. Just don't be that. Don't be that Rotom Heat. Just don't reveal the ally switch. Helping Hand is definitely an interesting move here. Okay. I'd imagine it's like Helping Hand Protect, Helping Hand Nasty Plot. That's what I would consider here. I go for the Wisp and Snarl here because it pretty much gets me some really good positioning. I think the only Pokemon that can really come in is Zacian on the Rotom Heat slot. It'd be funny if like I expected the ally switch, I Wisp into the Rotom slot, but yeah, it's okay here. We do get the Wisp off, and this -1 Intimidate is huge here. So we're going to see a Snarl come out. Okay, that Landorus is pretty slow. I do get a big damage, actually, into both. Let's see what the Rotom goes for here. Going to be Rockfall coming out. Okay, into... This should be always... Why into Arcanine? I revealed my Ground Switch. I guess I expected a Araquanid potentially here. Okay. We're going to see a T-Bolt as well. All right. This shouldn't do that much damage with the Assault Vest. Yeah, we take that very comfortably here. Now I think the goal is to get Trick Room up and bring out our big Aurorus here, because Aurorus is going to do a ton of damage. I need Arcanine healthy as well. I could protect here, I guess, on this last turn. That's not a bad option either. I guess what I could also do is switch out Yveltal right into Necrozma and go for the protect here. That's also a safe play, and I do kind of like that play. Their plays with Landis, Rockfall, the Yveltal, or Airstream potentially, and a Quake into the Arcanine. Those are your plays. And then Rotom Heat. I don't know what you do. It could be a T-Bolt and Yveltal. Could be a nasty plot here. They go for Helping Hand. All right. Let's see who they target. I think this is my best passive play. To stall out their Dynamax and then get Trick them up. They did go for Quake. If they read the Yveltal switch, amazing by them, but this should be Arcanine. Yeah. And they want to get rid of Arcanine, so Zacian's more freed up. Yeah, this is perfect. This is absolutely ideal. Because now I can get Trick 'em up very... I want to say safely. I don't know the Rotom Heat. If it crits me, that's annoying. Landers critting me isn't that big of a deal because it's burned. I am worried about Wisp on the Rotom. However, yeah, I think I'm actually going to go hard in Aurorus here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go hard Aurorus. And you might be thinking, why am I going to go hard Aurorus here? It's because, like, the Pokemon I want to set up against are these two right here while they have, like, a very weak position. There's a -1 Rotom Heat and a -1 Burn Landorus, which isn't going to do that much. I could get Aurorvel up if I want to. I have so many different options. Aurorvel Rock Slide might be a pretty good play the next turn if they activate my policy. And yeah, that just seems really solid here. We'll retreat Arcanine into Aurorus. And let's find out. Let's find out. We will get the Snow Warning off. So doesn't really change much. They protect Rotom. Okay, so that's their last move. Okay, perfect. And then they go for Swords Dance, which doesn't really matter at all. Perfect. So do I want a Aurorvel? I could stall out the Aurorvel turns as much as possible. I could just go for a Rock Slide Freeze Dry here, and I think that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. If Zacian comes in, it's not really that much of threat. Aurorus just seems really, really good under this Trick Room here, and I can go for a Freeze Dry and land this very safely in a Rock Slide. And this is looking pretty bad because they don't have switches either. We know the Rotom's probably not an ally switch. Oh, you would assume Rotom has Overheat. We know it has Protect, Helping Hand, and we saw T-Bolt on the Yveltal earlier. So yeah, it shouldn't have ally switch. So yeah, Freeze Dry here and Rock Slide. Zacian could switch in, however, then I max Quake it, and then it's in a lot of trouble. Yveltal can't switch in. Gastrodon can't switch in. Grimmsnarl, I guess, could switch in, although Grimmsnarl really doesn't get you much, and I'd be shocked if you didn't bring Yveltal Zacian in the back. Like, yeah, we're gonna see Landers switch out. This is probably Zacian. Yeah, good play on their part. They want the Intimidate off probably the next turn. I think I go for... Freeze Dry hopefully does a decent amount. They protect Rotom, which makes sense. Freeze Dry, Rock Slide will get some decent damage off in his Zacian. And then hopefully Max Quake, or maybe I have to Meteor Beam that slot. I might. Because it didn't take much damage from Rock Slide or the Freeze Dry, so it's probably like a bulky Zacian here. There's also some other plays I could do. I could go Arcanine here. Arcanine isn't too bad, and I think they're going to always go hard into Landorus. Like, I think Landorus is going to be swapped for the Rotom slot. And I just don't know what the Zacian does here. I guess it might take the knock on Aurorus, which isn't great for me because I do want to save this Pokemon for... I'm really thinking about Max Quake here, plus... You know what? I think Landorus is coming in. I'm going to double up the Aurorus or the Zacian slot. I think it's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to get like Rock Falls off, but yeah, we are going to see the Rotom swap into Landorus, and I think they have to go for the attack here. So hopefully a Max Quake and a Meteor Beam should KO the Zacian, and then my Aurorus is still in a fantastic spot after it because +1 Freeze Dry is always just a threatening move here. Oh, we see the double swap here. So Yveltal comes in instead. Okay. I'll take that too. I'll take that too. That's a Meteor Beam in the Yveltal, and I don't think they expected that. I think they expected Max Quake here and wasn't... I don't know what their Zacian spread is, but I don't know if they live. However, yeah, I felt like they were going to try to take advantage, but maybe they think my Aurorus has Earth Power, and if I have Earth Power, I double up in the Zacian, picks up the knockout. So yeah, that is pretty fair, but that's not how it's gonna work, unfortunately for them, because this is a meteor beam into the Yveltal. I did waste a turn of max with my Necrozma, but I don't think it's too bad, especially since I got the necessary damage in the Yveltal. Like, this Yveltal is perfect. Literally, Yveltal is no longer a threat because it's now in range of any of my attacks, really. And yeah, that's just so big. Here comes a +1 meteor beam and Yveltal. Yep, and now it's in any range of attacks. So this is perfect, and I mean perfect. So I'm gonna go for a Steel Spike in a Yveltal or the Rockfall. I just don't know who's swapping in. I think probably Rockfall, the Yveltal slot, and I think it's Aurora Veil here. Yeah, because if this is an opportunity to get Aurora Veil up, it's now. I could see like retreats here, but again, their retreats aren't that great. It's like Rotom and Zacian. And if they lose Zacian on a read, they absolutely lose the game. However, all their Pokemon that have been really good for my Arcanine are basically eliminated or like neutered in a fashion, right? The Yveltal especially. They go for the Sucker Punch actually into the Aurora slot. Okay. I do get a Aurora Veil up. And now, yeah, it's looking pretty bad for them. It's looking pretty bad for them. Rockfall going to come out into the Yveltal. Goodbye, Yveltal. We do set up the Sand, which maybe is nice for Aurorus. I can't tell because, I mean, it does boost my Spadef, but I guess that matters against Rotom. Doesn't really change much there. However, just to catch the Rotom Heat switch, I thought it was more likely they switch in Rotom Heat on that slot than Zacian, because I don't think you're a Zacian on a Steel Spike. Crit my Necrozma, so Aurora Veil unfortunately not even coming into play right there, but we do get the weakness policy boost, and now we have one powerful max move we can dish out right here. Trick Room's still up for one more turn. Let's see who they're going to bring out. I could see them going Zacian here and doubling the Rotom Heat. I could see that as a play. I just freeze dry the Landorus slot and I go for a... Yeah, we do see the Zacian come in. I think what I do here is I freeze dry Rockfall to Landorus because Landorus could be swapping on a Rotom. And I think like I have enough tools to beat the Zacian at this point. So yeah, let's go for a Rockfall here into the Landorus and a freeze dry because Landorus can't protect its Swords Dance 3 attacks most likely here. So I always just get a double up into the Landorus slot, and I think Zacian probably protects or switches out to Rotom Heat. I could also see the Landorus switching out to Rotom Heat as well, and that's why I'm just covering this swap here. And I think that's like pretty important. Oh, they actually just stayed in with both. All right, freeze dry into Landorus, and I still get pretty good damage into their Zacian, so I guess this is all right here. Yeah, this is all right. Get a Rock Fall off into the Zacian, puts in range of Flamethrower from my Arcanine. That does a pretty good amount of damage, actually. Yeah, that's pretty good damage. Oh, it's a crit. I was about to say that was like a lot for +1. They go for sub, and they have just enough HP for sub, actually. Okay. I wonder if they can knock out Necrozma, though, because I have Prism Armor on deck. I have Aurora Veil on deck. Helping Hand Sacred Sword doesn't knock out Necrozma, I think, with Aurora Veil. Overheat Sacred Sword. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, we are going to attempt a Trick Room here because like that is our best play. And I guess we're just going to freeze dry to Zacian because Aurorus, it doesn't really matter what Aurorus does here. I think they always just go for the Necrozma slot anyway because they have to deny Trick Room regardless. If freeze dry could break the sub on Zacian, that'd be nice. However, I don't think we are based on the damage we did before. However, then it puts in range of Rock Slide breaking the sub. I guess I could miss some Rock Slides, which could be a little bit annoying. Lucky that this isn't Helping Hand or not Helping Hand. Nasty Plot Rotom Heat. Nasty Plot Rotom Heat would have been difficult. Sacred Sword into Necrozma with that Aurora Veil. We are taking it. Let's see this big overheat damage. Yep, overheat does come out, and Necrozma should survive. Yeah, 1 HP. 1 HP. That's huge. Freeze dry into the Zacian slot, which won't pick up the knock on the sub, I imagine, but that's still really important, and Trick Room does go off here, and yep, the Aurora Veil is so clutch here. And now to win the game, I think we click Rock Slide into Freeze Dry. We just got to hit 1 Rock Slide. Literally 1 out of 2 Rock Slides. Sure, I could Sunsteel Strike, but I'm kind of greedy right now. All I have to do is break the sub on the Zacian, and then it's range of Sucker Punch. And then I just gotta hope that Rotom doesn't do anything like really bad with the with Thunderbolt crits and Paras. That's all I need to dodge here, I think. Come on. because I guess they could protect Zacian, but Rock Slide just finished off the Rotom Heat. Of course, they got a bank on, I think, misses right here. I think they had to protect Zacian and probably attack Rotom. That's what I'd imagine, because I revealed all my max moves, but no protects on either. Freeze Dry into the Zacian. Nice. And Rock Slide is able to connect with both, and that is good game. Wait, that didn't kill the Rotom. Jeez. I am surprised. Was I... Oh, I flinched too. I guess I got to find out. I thought it was +1, but I guess +1. I guess that's a bulky Rotom Heat. Yeah, I am +1. I guess that's just really bulky Rotom Heat, but now we win by just clicking Sunsteel Strike into Freeze Dry. Huge helping hand. They know it's over. They know it's over. I think the big turns was me getting the Meteor Beam off. I think that was absolutely huge. The read on the Landorus, I think, was huge turn 1. I was able to basically neuter the Landorus on turn 2 with 2 Will-O-Wisps, and that was huge because getting rid of that Landorus or just neutering it made it so much easier to set up the policy on the Cross as well as the Trick Room. And then Aurora actually did come in clutch because getting the second Trick Room up for the win there, even after the Landorus crit me with the Earthquake through Mac, just ended up, I think, really helping out right there. And that is the show. Araquanid actually putting in a huge amount of work, really dishing out a good amount of damage. Wide Guard was fantastic in this episode. But yeah, if you do want to check out the details of the team, paste been available in the description down below. Why not leave a like down below and leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this video, as it really does help me out. You can grab the rental code right here. It's available for 2 weeks. Make sure you try it out while you can. But a team builder is coming out tomorrow. If you want to know how I built this team, make sure you go check that out. And yeah, you could go check out my other videos as well, because I feature a lot of cool teams with a lot of fun Pokemon. Make sure you check those videos out as well. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. And until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.